Hey y'all, hey super fan, how y'all doing?
I gotta bring my
Long
hands
time
back.
no see.
Hey, y'all. What's up, y'all?
How
Hey,
y'all doing?
hey, y'all.
We
What's
back,
going
we
on?
back.
Our
We
super friends, our super women. Hey, Miss Josephine. Hey, Miss Lolita. Miss Dee.
D in his house. How you
What is
doing,
up,
girl?
girl?
Hey
How
y'all,
y'all
hey.
doing tonight? I know y'all like it's been a long time coming, super fan.
Right, where y'all been? What y'all been doing?
I
Where y'all
know
been?
we've been working in these streets. And I had to put because I had to go to the eye doctor yesterday, so I had to get new contacts. So I got to wear these because my contacts is for me to see far, and then I have to wear readers to be up close, and I'm up close to the laptop. So, but
All
anyway,
different type
what
of
y'all been
eyeball.
doing?
How
Right, my
y'all
eye,
been?
I'm blind. I'm blind, y'all.
Well, we can see. We can see. Hey,
What is
dreamy
up?
girl.
Hey, dreamy girl, we miss y'all. We
We
miss
do
y'all.
miss
What's
y'all.
up? How y'all
Y'all have
doing?
y'all been good out here? That's the question. What y'all been
Boy,
doing? What y'all been up to?
I've been,
Mm-hmm.
hey, Miss Joanne.
Hey there, Miss Joanne.
Boy, we've been trying to, woo. I've been ducking and dodging the YouTube. I come on here every now and again. I may catch Tay, I may catch Cousin. You know what I'm saying? I watched a couple of more people. I always catch Harmony, because her videos is never long. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Miss
Three
Sheena.
D3 the
Hey,
what's up,
y'all.
girl? Hey, Miss Sheena. What is good, y'all? We missed y'all.
We really
We
do.
missed
We've been
y'all. Yeah,
like,
we just been doing a lot of stuff. Like we've been Mina may want to tell y'all, but we got some other things we're kind of branching out. So it's some big things going on, you know what I'm saying? Like we got production and all this stuff going on. So that takes a lot of work, a
yeah.
lot of time is taken away. Then, I've been on my Facebook page, you know what I'm saying? So I do a lot of stuff on Facebook. Hey, Miss Cheryl, how you
Hey, Miss
doing?
Cheryl. How are
We miss
you?
y'all. We miss y'all. We was coming, y'all. It's just like, sometimes we be trying to avoid, trying to get on here. Our sister Toya.
Wait, hold on. We got a big stepper in the motherfucking building. Big,
What?
big T in the
What?
house. Big, whoop,
What?
whoop, big
What?
stepper in the house. Toya,
What?
Toya.
What's up, sis? What's up, baby sis?
We got another
Oh,
big
wait a minute.
stepper in the
Tay, we got our sister
we
Tay
got
in the
Toya.
building.
We
What's up,
got
Tay?
Toya in the building. Throw the purple
What's
stuff. Throw
what's up, y'all? We miss y'all. What's up,
Y'all
y'all?
talking to the hottest moderator in these streets. Okay, girl,
Boy,
we see
Miss Sexy Ray. Boy, what? The best. We love you too,
you,
Toya.
girl.
We love you too, Toya. What's going on? Yeah, but we just been doing like we on production. We doing Superfans is a network. So we got production going on. So that take a lot of time. And we have to have these meetings and meet these people and we getting connected. So it's like, hey, we on our ground. We trying to get it out the mud. So that's what we doing. You know what I mean? But we was coming, y'all. We miss y'all too. My sister
100.
Patina in the building. Look at Patina done came over here on the YouTube
Hey,
side.
Katina.
Baby. Patina in the
Miss
building.
Carolyn. Hey, girl. Hey, that's
Hello.
my Facebook friend. Hey, friend.
I, you know what,
I'm not
sis? I
seeing
already
all
Tay,
the
I know
names for
you
some
gonna
reason.
support. I know Tay gonna support. Yeah, I be coming over here every now and again. Like if I see Toya, I definitely come in Tay lives. You know what I'm saying? And I go in cousin, I go in Tiff the gifts lives. You know what I'm saying? I
Boy,
watch
I'll be in
Harmony
the
go.
bushes. I slide in the
Yeah,
bushes and I
I
slide
be
back out.
I be trying to avoid it. Like
I'll be
if
in the
I
bushes
see
looking like
yeah,
this. And I'm
yeah.
like, ooh, child.
I
Slide
know
back
it's still
out.
a lot of stuff. What's up, brother Timmy? What's good?
What's
What
up,
is
brother?
good, y'all? We miss y'all for real. Like, what's going on? How y'all been though? Y'all been good? And that's an understatement. Have y'all been good though?
Have y'all been good? Now that's the
Whoever been
question.
on these YouTube
What
streets,
y'all been
have y'all
doing?
been good? That's what I need to know.
Tay, what you been doing? What you been doing, sis?
Wait a minute, she did a video the other day. It had to be yesterday or today, and her laugh always make me laugh. You know what I'm saying?
Tay
Tay
be,
laugh
be
always make me
on
laugh. Hey Stokes, how you doing? I see
Hey,
y'all coming
so
in here. We love y'all.
stressed. Carolyn say she been stressed out here in these streets.
Tay
Girl, don't
said
let them
she
stress you. Don't let them
said
do
she
it to
been
you.
in and she in her closet. I'm not Tay.
I'm good in my closet.
What is up? We love y'all. We miss y'all. Thank y'all for the support. We thank y'all for the love. Thank y'all for understanding that we didn't leave y'all. We just had some things going on because we had to revamp some things, and we just making tiny moves, but they're kind of big. You know what I'm saying?
Tiny
So
moves, but we keeping it moving.
yeah,
Tiny
yeah,
moves, making tiny moves to big moves. Put it that way. Tiny moves to
yes,
big moves. But
yes,
one thing,
yes.
we keeping it moving.
And the people we support, we still support. So let's
100.
not get that twisted. You know what I'm saying? We still support our family. You know what I'm saying? And that's the within the Truth umbrella. We still support our bruh. We always gonna support him. Bruh know us. He know how we get down, and he know how we handle ourselves. And that's just it on it. That's that on that. Right?
That's that.
Yeah.
It's what it is. We came,
Yes.
we saw it, and you got to keep it moving. We gonna keep it
Amen.
moving. Okay,
That's
we're
the
gonna
only
keep
way
it
we know how to do, y'all. I know I look like Malcolm X with these glasses. Do I look like Malcolm X me?
You so stupid. I can always throw my other four on, my other two on, and you want me to. We can go on and balance it out.
Look. But y'all, yes. So I know y'all seen our title, and we want to thank y'all for y'all. Make sure y'all like and share this live. Like
Hit
and
that
share this
like,
live.
hit that
Y'all hit
like.
that like button. Y'all hit that like button if y'all want to support us. Our Cash App is floating across that banner at the bottom if y'all want to support the Superfan Network. We
Please
appreciate
do.
y'all and
Thank you. We
everything that y'all do.
appreciate you and love you.
Miss Carol said
So
she be trying to exercise with me. Oh, look, Miss Carol, I'm doing a 30-day. Mina supposed she ain't got with me yet, but
I was gonna ask you about that. I thought it was 21 days, not 30.
yes. No, but
21 or 30.
we could start this Monday, but I had got a
That's
jump
tomorrow.
start. Yeah,
That's tomorrow.
yeah. I
Give me
had
the
did a jump
Tuesday.
start. We supposed to start it last Monday, remember? But see, Ebony had got in my. She said, "Am I too late?" And I said, "No." And Sexy Ray did too, so I got to reach out to both of them. But we doing a little
Okay.
30-day thing, holding each other accountable. If y'all want to exercise and be more healthier, I got something going on. So y'all can follow me on Facebook at TC Chronicles.
Yes. Hey, open book.
Hey, Open Book, what's up, son? Oh, and I catch Open Book Lives. So, but I come in after the fact. So, I always like and say, catching the replay so people will know that I've been there. Hey, Tay, baby.
Hey,
What's
baby.
going on? We love y'all.
So good to see the familiar faces.
Thank y'all for coming in here. We appreciate y'all. And I know y'all see us. We really wanted to do this live because I told Mina, sometimes things like this touch me a little bit harder.
Say
I
her
was
name. Say her
say her
name.
name, Sonya
Say her
Massey.
name.
Say her name because I had told Mina just a few years ago. I just got off. Who I said just got off? Mina.
Sandra. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just too much. We've been traumatized for so long with watching our men being, gunned down on videos, and it's just too much. So, my sentiments are okay, is I look at the fact that we have this election year. I'm a conspiracy theorist, but usually the stuff end up happening. So it's like, why all of a sudden, my question is, why all of a sudden, not that her situation is irrelevant by far, but it's highlighted during this time. So is it our turn? Are we about, as Black women, is this something we need to, pay a little bit more attention to and not sweep it under the rug? So those are the things I wanted to talk about, the possibilities, her situation, the possibilities. We tired of singing the same old song all the time, tired of marches, tired of protesting, but this sister got murdered in her kitchen,
unalive,
holding a pot of water in her house, calling for help. Like literally in her kitchen. Hey, humble me, hi.
What's going on, sister? Well, keep self.
For me, that could have been me. Like that can be me. So where are we at?
Right.
Where are we at now?
And then it's like for us as beautiful brown women and colored women, it's like the protection for us is almost none and void. And that's even from my own race sometimes. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I feel, and this is just my opinion, I just feel like us as Black women, we're not protected enough. We're not protected enough in society. We're not protected enough. And the people
we're not protected in our homes. We're not protected in our homes. Most of us are in homes without any protection, meaning any male, meaning in some cases without any weapon. We're just not protected.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
At this point, we're not.
Yeah, I feel like it was senseless. With me, once I get attached to a story, I dig deep. So I watch a lot of videos. I watch videos with the family, with Crump. I watch videos of like psychologists analyzing the officer and her. I watch different videos so I can get a different perspective on all views and see how people are viewing it from different ways, right? And I seen that I have not found a video that really justified what he did. No one has came out and said that he should be justified for what he did. First of all, what the officer did was he didn't have his camera on. That's where we started, because I think that you're supposed to have that camera on. If it's operational, I thought that was a requirement that you have your camera on.
That's just for
the officer safety as well. You're supposed to have your camera
for both
on.
ways, protection both ways.
And he didn't have his that was the number one strike to me. Then number two, I heard on another interview or video that the son said that he think those was the same, and allegedly, this is all alleged, that he think those was the same officers the day before. So they had came out the day before, is what the son thought, because he said he talked to the officers and he said it sounded like the same officers. She had went to the hospital. She called him to let him know that she was on the way taking herself to the hospital, but the police were at her house. And he said he don't know why she was taking herself to the hospital. So when they came the next day, that's why she still had the hospital band on, right?
Hospital band on her arm, right?
Yeah, because she had just went to the hospital. Now, as people
open book. Hold on, TC. Open book is saying, why did they come out the day before? I think she was dealing with mental issues. I could be wrong.
She had.
I think that was one thing.
Yeah, what happened was the son said they had her in a facility in St. Louis, right? To check for her mental illness. They both went to go stay with their fathers. His sister went to stay with her father.
We got another big in the building. We got another big stepper. Is that cousin?
What's up, cousin? Wait a minute. Oh, just horsing around. She
Yeah, I'm used to that name. Hold on, but I know that's her. He say, "Tiff, the gift and the mother in building."
It's
You over here galloping. You over
cousin.
here galloping. I wasn't familiar. Oh,
What's up, cousin? Why you keep changing your name?
she said it's me. I
Yes.
know it was you with them doggo horses.
Yes, we love y'all for coming through and kicking it with us tonight. We really do. But
Absolutely.
that's what happened. The son said he doesn't know why they released her in St. Louis. And the reason I feel like this is really kind of it touches me a little bit is because if y'all been following us for the amount of time y'all been following us, y'all know I deal with a child with mental illness. I know what it does. I know what it entails. I had to read up on it. I had to study it. I had to actually, get in the trenches and learning about schizophrenia, bipolar disorder because of my son, right? And she said, but that's how they do. It's like they'll put them in a facility, but once they feel like they've medicated, because sometimes people with mental illness, they're not dumb by a long shot. They're very smart. Let's get that.
I see people with mental illnesses, like with schizophrenia. I have a close family member that has schizophrenia as well, and I'll just say this. I just always have thought that, their minds are just opened up on a whole nother level. Do they hear and see and go through all that? Yeah, they do. But that junk exists. They just are in a different, from my perspective, they're in a different port. They somewhere. It's not like they're making it up. It's something that is existing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we call it crazy, but it's mental, it's there. And I personally think that Sonya picked up on it. Like, she may have had some mental issues going on, but spiritually, like she knew that was a demon at her house. Like, she knew it. She called it out.
Yeah, I think she felt that.
Like before he even came in her house.
Yeah, I think she felt it. Yeah, I think she really felt it. I think that when the son said that, she said she was taking herself to the hospital. Now, this is how mental illness works, and they medicate you. Some people will take them. Some people with mental illness will take their medication as prescribed, because it kind of levels the brain out. Let's just get real. The medicine that they give them levels their brain out, levels their thoughts out. Doesn't cure them, but it levels it out so they don't have the panic attacks, or they don't have the spasms, the breakout spasms, right? I know my son is opposed right now. He bucking the system. He doesn't want to take it because he don't like the way the medication makes him feel. But if you take the medication, you actually basically can live like a normal person, get a job or whatever have you. I think where she was even when the officer, and I think they knew that she had the mental illness. And the reason I say they knew it, because when he approached her, he said, "Are you okay mentally? Like, is your mental intact?" or something. He said to that effect. Like, they had already knew about her episodes or something other. That's what made me believe that when he said that they was out there the day before, it was the same officers, because they asked that question. He asked that specific question. So that's what made me feel like, okay, he knows about her mental illness, right? So I
just wanted to acknowledge Carolyn's comment there. She was saying this story, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but she said this story was hard to me. My cousin was, unalived by the police. She was just like, Sonya. So it's hard to even talk about. I'm sorry to hear that.
Man, I'm sorry to hear that too. And that be my thing. And that's why I be so afraid with my son, because he's out there on, out there on the streets wild, and I ain't gonna say wilding, because I make sure that, he has money and, so he can get room, so he could, do what he needs to do, as far as he just don't want to take the medication. However, if he's out there spazzing out and people don't know about his mental illness, they can hurt him. Even the police, you know what I'm saying? He's been locked up several times because they don't understand that he has mental illness. So instead of just taking him to a hospital, they rather throw him in jail, which is really not a good thing either. You get what I'm saying? So with that being said, I just feel like with her, she was okay because she had verbalized that to them, like, yeah, I'm on my medication. Like, I've took my medication. That's why she was so mild mannered when they came in her house, or when they approached her. She had already said she loved them. So where was the threat?
Yeah, there was definitely no threat. Yeah, definitely she wasn't a threat. I mean, she gave no it was just no justification for his actions at all. I mean, his other options he could have had. He was what, 6'3". He was a tall man, 200 something plus pounds.
They said 6'5".
Yeah, he was huge. He was a giant to her, because I believe she was like 5'2". Like, she was a very petite woman, like 110 or 15 pounds.
Yeah, she was real small.
She was not a threat, And based on the video, he told her to go to the stove and take the water, off the stove. So that's just what he wanted to do. It was almost like a video game is what it sounded like. As soon as he did it, he talked about it being a headshot. So that's just what he wanted to do. So I want to scroll back on some of the comments.
Say Baby said, I have a brother with mental illness who got beat down by the police because he was going through one of his episodes and didn't understand their orders. Yeah. See what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
Like, one time my son came back home, like, this is when he used to dip out for just a couple weeks and then come back. And when he came back, it was almost like he had a black eye. And I was like, what happened to your eye? And he didn't want to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, what happened to your eye? And it's like, I feel like maybe he spazzed out and somebody, hit him or jumped on him or something. You get what I'm saying? So I that bothers me a lot. That bothers me a lot.
Yeah, it doesn't even take for them to spaz out though all the time. At the end of the day, these people should be trained, properly to be able to handle people with mental illnesses, especially if they've been notified that the car that they're coming to, there's been previous, maybe situations at that location or place of home with someone with a mental illness. I mean, it's to the point to where technology and system-wise, homes and addresses should be able to be listed. If somebody, in an emergency-based system, if someone was called to a certain home, it just should be avenues and preventative ways to just not have to go down that route. But it's really training. It's the training. They're trained for that. Like, they're desensitized. They're literally now trained for that. And the scariest part to it is with Orange Man trying to come back into office, he's trying to get these people immunity, like, to do whatever.
Yeah, the two
if you got a badge, you could. It's purged. Do what you want to do.
Yeah. So just think what we would be if he got back in office. You know what I'm saying? Because he gonna get that law passed. I think that he would. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like we're not protected. We're not protected as women. I'm speaking on a women's standpoint. I know our black men are not either, but it's like just all around. I just feel like the women of color, we have it the worst in protection and equal rights for us. I mean, we don't have them, even though that we are supposed to. We don't have them. Sometimes I hate to say it, sometimes our brothers don't even want to stand up for us. You get what I'm saying? Not all brothers, but some.
No,
you know what I mean?
The majority. Let's just say that, because it's a great bit of that I know.
I mean,
I'm just being honest, but I understand. I do understand the pressures and the like, but so this is the thing. We all make choices. And I was talking to a friend today about, us as a people, we like to blame the system. But at the end of the day, we make choices.
Yeah.
We all make choices. So you got to choose if you want to stay in that mindset of giving excuses the short time that you are here on this earth, you know, and you have to make the decision how, you know, if you're gonna make the right choices with your family. And I'm saying your immediate family, because you can't even start with trying to wanting the world to change and inside your house is chaos, you know, or even inside your own mind is chaos. Like you got to start cleaning out, you know, from here on inside out, literally, in order to make a difference, maybe for your kids, but definitely maybe make a difference for your grandkids, you know, a couple of generations down, because otherwise this is just what it is, like until this thing pop. Because it's been like this, you know, and it's just it's cycles, it's cycles. So, you know, it's just a matter of choices and how you want and perspective, you know, how you want to view and live your life, you know, just because, yeah, you know, it's perspective as well, because everybody have their own lenses on this life and on this world and their own experiences, you know, and so you act and you speak and you think from your own understanding. But when you have right and wrong and you decide to throw right out the window and do wrong, that's when it boils down to choice, you know. And if you make the wrong choices, you're gonna, and the wrong company and the wrong decisions in life, you're gonna get the outcome of that. So my point is, we're all responsible for what we do, and we can't blame it on the system. Like, we just can't keep doing it. It's there. It's a factor, a big one. It's the machine. Yeah. But at the end of the day, we're waking up and we're able, you know, to make the choices of how our day is going to be conducted. You know, and how are we going to move? So I'm just saying, you know, don't let that be the reason. Don't let that be the reason.
Hey, Booski, my Booski. What's going on, Booski? Hey, Royalty. But I just feel like, and I see Open Book asks, well, do we know for sure? Did he know that she was had? And like I said, I think it's just alleged that he knew, only because the question he asked her. Why would he have asked her that question? Because from the videos that I seen, she wasn't acting mental when she came to the door. She wasn't. You know what I'm saying? She was just acting like she basically was afraid. Like, she called them because she thought she heard something. So that looked to me as a woman that was afraid, that she thought something was wrong with her. Automatically, I wouldn't have went to, is your mental intact? I wouldn't have never went to that if I was an officer.
But even if he had questions that her mental was in question, her mental stability, we love you too, Miss D. It wasn't questioned. That's when you call paramedics. That's when you call EMS. That's when you get, you know, that's not when you draw your weapon. I mean, and like I was saying earlier, it's just other things he could have did. He shouldn't even pull the taser out. But like you decided to go to the full extent of craziness.
My thing is, it was unwarranted yesterday. They dropped the autopsy. I watched that whole video. Crump laid out the autopsy. My daughter calling. I told her I was on live, but Crump dropped the autopsy, and from where he was standing, the bullet went under her eye and out through her neck, like maybe the nape right here. Meaning you was standing up over. So you know you was a tower. You was a tower. You know what I'm saying? And if she's bending down like this, you're like, you know, okay, I'm so, you know, how is she? In the way that I looked at the videos, and I looked at a couple of them because I like to look at the angles and all that. Where was the throw at? Like, where was the throw that you said that she was throwing the water on you? Where was the throw? Because actually she dropped the pot.
Probably burnt herself.
And burnt herself. Because it was boiling water.
Boiling water.
And then you had a whole island in about 4 or 5 feet from this girl. So why do you think that she was coming to attack you and you had so much room in between you? You get what I'm saying? And that's what I don't like. I don't like that if his partner hadn't had that camera on, where would we be right now? She would just be another victim.
I don't think it would have been highlighted. I don't know if it would have been highlighted. And
I don't either.
If he didn't have the camera, because it would have been a different story. They had already written down a different story prior to the family learning. Like they said that the family learned about it being a police shooting the same way we did online.
Yeah.
So they had already been given other information.
Yeah. Yeah, I just feel like
it's unacceptable.
It was sad.
It's really unacceptable.
When I first seen the video, I ain't gonna lie, I cried because it was like when the other officer was like, I need to go get my kit. This dude gonna say, I don't, you don't need to get it because that was a headshot. Basically, I took her out. But as you can see, she was still kind of breathing. Oh, wow. Yeah, she was still kind of breathing when the other officer went to go help her because he heard her still like breathing. You know what I'm saying? A little bit. You know what I mean? But he was like, nah.
But he stopped the other officer from going and getting the kid.
Yeah. But when they had to call the help in, that's when he allowed him, and then he didn't even know, but he still had he had his camera on. He's like, oh, you had your camera on?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, we caught all that, bro. We caught all of it.
But it seemed like the partner though had an ounce of humanity because he was shaking like a leaf, like instantly. He had his gun, but he didn't release his trigger because he could have easily released his trigger as well. But he stayed within, I guess, protocol. I hate to even say protocol, but he stayed within the margin. He didn't release his trigger because he was shaking like a leaf. So, hopefully he has an ounce of humanity.
Lady Love. Hey, Lady Love. She said, TC, he knew exactly what he was doing. That's why he tried to cover it up from the beginning. He walked to his car saying shit. Then he told the oncoming police, she tried to throw the water at him. He knew exactly. And that's why, back to open books question, that's why I feel like he knew her situation because he didn't have his camera on. He didn't. He didn't. Why would he not have his camera on and his partner had his camera on? Like it's like they always probably had been out there before because of maybe her episodes. Now that we know that she was suffering from mental illness, she probably had episodes to where she might have called the police or someone might have called the police in her neighborhood. We don't know. We don't know that situation. We're just speculating right now. But for him to ask her that further let me know that he knew that she had some kind of mental issues. That's how I feel. That's just my opinion. I feel like he already knew that she had mental issues.
Hi, I am that somebody.
How you doing? Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. Y'all hit that like button and share this live. Thank you.
So we would like to go over the autopsy report. There's a report that came out. It's about 15 minutes long. We have pressed pause and talk a little bit. So we wanted to share and go through this with you all. So give me 1 second. I'm going to pull it up.
Yes, World D. Yeah, I think so too. Yes, Tay baby. Yeah, then he gonna tell I want to
when
take
y'all can see it.
How
see the main screen.
How? And she was that far away from you. How?
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
Ms. Teresa Haley with Haley and Associates, Envisions 1908. Today is a sad day. You've been here before. We're here to talk about the results of the autopsy. I am so grateful to have Attorney Ben Crump with us. But as I watch the video again, I have to reiterate, Black women are under attack. We fear for our lives as well. Again, we used to tell our sons, our husbands, our nephews, the men in our lives to be careful and what to do when you're stopped by the police. Now we have to tell ourselves, our daughters, our mothers, our sisters, our cousins. As I watched the video, I thought, this is not murder. This is an assassination. Judge for yourself. At this time, I'd like to turn it over to our very esteemed
Teresa Haley for helping this family and helping the community in these very difficult times. I'm Attorney Ben Crump, along with Attorney Natalie Jackson, Attorney Paul Greenkey, and Attorney Jennifer Hightower. We have the honor of representing the family is her son Malachi Massey, her uncle Raymond Massey, as well as his daughter Shadia Massey. Also with me and Ms. Haley is Cliff Jones, who's going to assist me today as we talk about the results of the autopsy. Before we do that, I want to also talk about an update as we continue to probe and find out all the reasons why this tragedy happened. Leading up before the killing, wanted a thorough investigation as to why they didn't know until 24 hours later that the person who had shot Sonya Massey was a law enforcement official. Why weren't they told that from the very beginning when they showed up asking who did this? Malachi talked about how he was on the phone with the hospital officials, and he kept asking, they kept saying somebody shot her in her face, and told him in graphic detail at 5 o'clock in the morning what happened to his mother, but never told him who. Shadia and Jimmy went to the house at 6 a.m. that morning when law enforcement was all around. They kept asking the questions, who did this? What happened? Nobody told them that it was the sheriff's deputy, Sean Grayson, who had shot her in the face. They seemed to be led to believe that it was some prowler or something asking questions. Every time they would ask questions, they would be given questions. What was the history between her and the neighbor? And so it was troubling. So we wanted investigation. And I say we, the family, passionately wanted an investigation into that there because they are suspicious of everybody and everything. Wouldn't you be if this happened to your daughter, your mother? And then we talked with the Department of Justice because we want to know more about the history of this sheriff's deputy who so flagrantly and senselessly shot and killed Sonya Massey with no remorse, no humanity after he did it, evidenced by the video. People contacted our office since we've had the press conferences, Teresa, and this is why we continue to try to fight not only in the court of law, but in the court of public opinion, because we know we have to fight to get justice. We don't assume that it's just going to happen for Black people in America, even when we got all the evidence in the world, all the visual evidence in the world, we still don't take it for granted. We know the lessons of Laquan McDonald and how the officer got a slap on the wrist, even though that evidence was on video, ocular proof of the crime. And we have been made aware that there were some unsubstantiated allegations of excessive force by this officer allegedly on 2 occasions. One dealing with an African-American who received injuries from allegedly a tasing, but regrettably, before the findings were concluded, the individual wouldn't cooperate because apparently he was dealing with the criminal charges. And so he apparently didn't trust the system to do right by him. So we know that that individual is now considering coming forward. Even though you have to understand, a lot of people, a lot of minorities in America don't come forward for many reasons.
Mhm.
They don't call the police for many reasons because things normally don't turn out good for us when we call the police.
That's true.
Obviously, Sonya Massey is exhibit 1, but we hoping and encouraging him to come forward and tell what happened with his interaction with Deputy Sean Grayson. And then the other individual we know is out there. We don't know what this situation is, but apparently they also complained about excessive, unnecessary force inflicted by the deputy. And the question really goes back to what Sonya's father, Mr. Weirburn, said. Well, the 2 DUIs, with the reprimand from the Army over serious misconduct,
Wow.
with the 6 different law enforcement agencies in 4 years, with whatever answers he answered in the questionnaires when he was interviewing for the job. When you asked about why did you leave this department? Why did you resign from this? Were there red flags missed? And should he have been hired in the first place by the sheriff's department?
Of course.
Those questions only get louder. You know, Malachi and Cliff Jones and us, we asked that question, you know, DUI guilty convictions? How do you even have a driver's license? Much less getting a job as a sheriff's deputy. Many questions to be answered. And so we will be sending the formal letter to the Department of Justice with those things that we have been made aware of. And they have promised the family that they will work with the local agencies and they will try to get answers to all of these allegations of other instances of excessive force. And before you hear from Uncle Raymond Massey and Shadia Massey, and finally from Malachi Massey, we want to take a few minutes to go over the autopsy report because I think it's important. And
yeah, it's crazy. The 6th location moved from police departments. You know how dirty that department got to be to bring him in, like throughout.
And you all, I want to thank State Attorney John Heiser for making sure he got the autopsy to the family for transparency and that he's providing it to you all. Even though the family takes great exception with the sheriff's department, they have been very Grateful that Mr. Millhouse's office has tried to be very transparent and very respectful to them as victims. And so he made sure that this autopsy report was released, and it should give all of things, answer a lot of the questions that you all asked previously. The biggest thing on the autopsy are the findings, and we will go through those. The conclusion is based on the information available to me and on the autopsy findings. It is my opinion that Sonya Massey, a 36-year-old Black woman, died as a result of a gunshot wound to the head. And then it goes on to in more detail. And it says the gunshot wound of the head, the entrance was beneath the left eye. The injury, proliferation of the left internal subra. Now I'm looking at this word because I know it's not subdural artery, but it's
Probably to get it together.
An artery that is the blood vessel
I
right
was just gonna say that. Come on, bro.
her eye.
You didn't just
Come
get
on,
that.
Crump. Come on, Crump.
The exit posterior left surface
But dude, like you supposed to be able to pronounce that.
associated injuries, skull fracture, subdural hemorrhages, direction, front to back, downward and slightly right to left, range, no soot or gunpowder stippling on the skin. If you could turn it over. And I would tell you, they had an anatomical model that is very important. Here, obviously, you have Sonya Massey, a beautiful smile.
That could be any of
You
them.
have, as they said, the injury.
That's my
in the
reality.
left
Like
eye.
that's crazy.
And then
Yeah, my daughter was just
they
is
talk
just
about
2 years younger than her. So
how the exit is posterior left surface of the upper neck below her hairline. Now, why this is so significant is
I
it
know.
confirms that
In fairness to him, you're right,
Jim
Jim.
Grayson
I just got the report.
shot in downward trajectory. He shot downward trajectory. This autopsy findings coupled with the video where we see her ducking. Sorry. He shot when she's making a motion coming up. That's how you get the downward trajectory. And you see on the video his arm. He aims down. He literally aims down. You see his arm brace in a downward trajectory. And we know that he walked 2 to 3 steps to his right, out away from the counter, where it was, we believe, from objective observation, to get a better shot at Sonya Massey. And when Sonya Massey was staring at the barrel of his, we saw the video what she did. She stooped down and said, sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And we believe that the bullet, the shot, was shot while
Yeah,
she
she was
was
like, I'm sorry.
in a super position
Yeah.
coming up. And that's how you get the downward trajectory. And the autopsy confirms what everybody already knew on the video, that this was just a senseless, unnecessary, excessive use of force. Completely
That was a murder.
unnecessary. Certainly not justified. I mean, how can you justify this? She's all of 5'1", 110 pounds. He's approximately 6'5" tall, approximately 260
That's
pounds.
crazy. That's a big man.
Yeah, he was a big.
That's a big man.
He
Just,
was a big.
those
veteran.
are like
He-
security guard type of
To provide
man.
you
He was a
His
Jethro.
presence alone.
Yes.
evidence as we get it, because we're not taking for granted that America want Sonya Massey like Deputy Sean saw her. We want to make sure that America sees her as a human being worthy
Right.
of dignity and respect
Right.
and consideration. We don't take it for granted. Your actions speak so loud, we need not hear your words. And until we get a conviction and a sentence, we will continue to keep our foot on the gas and full steam ahead and fighting for justice for Sonya Massey. Too often, especially as it relates to Black women in America, there's not equal justice.
I'm gonna pause it there. Black women in America, there's not equal justice. That's a hot topic. I think
Yeah.
we may even come back and do a topic like that, because that I could go left on that, right and left, all over the place. Because
Yeah.
even when it comes to healthcare, like we talk about no protection in the home. I mean, it's nowhere. Like, the sad part to this, I'm gonna go down this lane. The saddest part to us already being unprotected, it's almost like we hate each other. We hate ourselves. It's that bad. It's that type of bad, to where we're so unprotected. And maybe that's why we eat each other up, because we're so unprotected and shit be so hard. We tear into each other. Real talk. Like we don't even like it's that bad to where we don't even like ourselves. We take off the next sister head. It's that type of bad.
Hey, True Slayer, and that's another thing, y'all. I mean, since Mina went down this path, it's
It's a rabbit hole now.
it's just so unfortunate, and I'm gonna speak on it because this is just me, and you know me, my mouth is my mouth. It's just so unfortunate that we have so many talented women on in this sector now that do very great at their craft and going live, having reports on. I mean, they have so many skills. Everybody have their own flavor, right? But everybody that I know that I see and I've supported or still support, they have a gift in this thing called podcasting, blogging, or whatever title you want to give yourself. And it's just it's so unfortunate that we can't respect each other. And it ain't that we gotta like each other, but it's the fact that we can't even respect each other enough, for the differences that we may have. I've been on here and I've came across people talking about people's body shape, nose, eyes, teeth, physical appearance, the way they dress. It's like we have to stoop that low instead of us being adults or grown women about it, and it ain't so much as you have to take the high road. It's just you being a adult about it. And that's just all to it. And I feel like some of the stuff, yeah, of course, what I'm saying, we've been in the mud with some people. But it's like once you're in the mud, you don't have to keep going back to get a lick back. That's how I
just because you go. This is the thing. Just because you go in the mud and get a little dirty, you ain't gotta stay dirty. Like, don't you want to clean up sometime?
Right. You don't want to take a shower?
You want to stay stinking?
Right. Like I don't get it. And it's like we are as black
I'll
women,
say that.
I'm just saying, we as black
I think we got to
women,
delay a little bit.
we don't support each other enough. We don't
Right.
support each other
Right.
enough. And that's sad because it's so many people out here who have so many talents while we can't build each other up and network together. You get what I'm saying? It's like I don't know what it is with our sisters.
This is
You know what I'm saying?
this is the thing. The world knows. Literally, the world knows. Like, okay, we birthed the world. Like, and I'm not trying to go philosophical, but I am kind of, But we literally birthed everybody in this joint. Like, no race would exist without us. So they need us. The earth, the everybody on the earth need us. So we're not going anywhere because they wouldn't exist. And I say this to say, but we can't be too powerful. Do y'all understand where I'm going with this? So we can't be too powerful. We can't be given power because we already were the mothers. So how do you contain that? How do you put that? How do you put that power in a space where it cannot win? So that's take away our protection, which our men is our protection, and let us eat each other up. Let us not respect our bodies, our mind, all that. Let us eat each other up, and then something will come out of the blue. Once so many of us are at a space where we have no respect for ourselves, so we're worth no value. Once you devalue your mind, body, and soul, your morale, all that's out there. So like some women who walk around this earth carry themselves just trifling. So they're part of the mission accomplished there. But those who got sense, they got mind, they understand how great we are, the type of power we really possess, let alone if you link with your sister versus try to destroy her. That's a threat. So these people know that. Like the world knows that. The devil knows that. The spiritual world even know that.
Yeah.
And we just be playing the game. We play into it. Unfortunately, we play into it.
Yeah.
We play into
I just feel like, and I always say this, I just feel like the black nation is the strongest nation to me. You can't sway me no other way. We are the most powerful nation, I believe. If we was just to stick together, do y'all know what we could do and accomplish? You know what I mean? It's like we can accomplish a lot, but we so busy acting like crabs in a bucket to where it doesn't make any sense. And then we have this happen. We already not protected in the homes, and then we have people unaliving us senselessly, because that was a senseless unaliving. That was senseless.
Out loud. On camera, out loud.
Yeah, that lady was very defenseless. So I don't know how you thought that she was trying to attack you if she's on the ground or she's bending down and she says, I'm sorry. How did you feel threatened? And you're 6'5", 200 and something pounds, and she's only 110 pounds. Which further let me know that he knew about her mental illness. Like,
Yeah, I
I'm
can agree
telling
with
you,
that.
I only say that because I deal with it. I know when they have the spasm. I know when they go, crazy. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't saying crazy like that. I know when they have manic episodes. I know what it could look like. I know what it could lead to. You know what I'm saying? Because I've had several officers, almost the same, that got to know my son very well to where they would call me and be like, look, we got him. We're going to stay here with him until you get here, because they already knew. You see what I'm saying? You have some officers out there like that, but then you have some officers who don't really want to be bothered with it. You know what I mean? And I think he was just an officer who didn't want to be bothered with it, but he had to know. He had to know, because when she asked what was he doing, and he was like, I'm bagging up because I didn't want, the water. I don't want the hot water on me. But you just told me to get the water off the stove. So what are you talking about? But she didn't have that attitude. As you can see, she spoke very calm, even when she said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, or I rebuke you, Satan. Those words triggered him, which further let me know he knew what was going on. You know what I'm saying? He knew it. Can't nobody tell me no different. I just believe that he knew it. He knew it. He knew it.
Lady Love says, although the Massey case is so different, this sector or prep show has took on its own battles, but it does show the character of people, evil things, or maybe thinkers, but evil things, wishy-washers, simple-minded people. I would say that within this sector, it definitely has displayed character, hands down. Like, at this point, as far as people who have followed all the content creators, I think that, is enough time, enough lives have been put out, videos have been put out for the followers to be able to define character. And then, that definition is going to be based on your own understanding. And people, at the end of the day, people are going to be people. You know what I'm saying? People are good people. And hey,
Yeah.
but that's just what it is. People are people. But I agree. You can only, this is the thing with any situation or any sector, and on social media or real life, you can only, if you're not already being who you are up front with stuff, you can only play who you are, for so long.
You can only camouflage it for so
You know what I'm saying?
long.
To everything. So it definitely brought out character. I agree with that.
Yeah, it brought out a lot of people's. It did bring out a lot of. It brought out a lot of different characters. Let me just say that.
The thing about it too, though, is like
on both sides.
on all sides. But wow, what a show! Like, that's all I said. What a show! Definitely a show. So folks still tuned in. That's what social media is for, I suppose. So it's all good.
It's like, I guess it's entertainment. However, when it becomes to us getting away from why we came on here to build something, to now it's almost like we are attacking each other. And I'm talking about not only the story, but I'm talking about once the story was complete, us going along and building what we say we were going to build within our channels. You get what I'm saying? When it comes to that, when it comes to, I got to stay on this person's neck, or, we playing ping pong with the name calling, or, it's like, okay, when is enough enough? Is how I feel. Like, okay, when y'all gonna be tired? And it's like, at some point we have to say that we gonna be adults about this situation and keep it moving. If you know that you're good at what you do in your craft, I just feel like it should be something better that how you can express yourself than beating another woman down. And that's just my take on everything.
But and we had this, was it you I was talking to? Oh no, time out. I was gonna say, or if I hadn't had this conversation with you today, we've talked about this before, TC. Some people are just capped at whatever they're good at. Some people are just good at drama. Let's keep it real. And some people are just good at drama. Some people are good at other things. But then too, some people are capped at whatever it is they're good at. And for me, I just, I accept people for what you're good at. You know what I mean? Like, it was understood. We understand. It's understood.
We respect
you know what I mean?
it. We can't do nothing but respect it.
But does that is that the healthiest thing? And I guess using this sector as an analogy to Black women, I would say just doing better. We definitely just have room to do better. And I'll start with myself. I don't think that any opinion should be applied to anybody unless you first apply it to yourself. So I start with myself. So I always hold myself accountable, for whatever come out of my mouth. But then I also hold those around me accountable for what I believe in. Because, at the end of the day, we have to, we have to hold our sister accountable in regards to how we carry ourselves. Otherwise, I don't even love you enough. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, people are gonna do what people do. You say, what the hell are y'all talking about? Self-made. What do you mean? What are we talking about? What we're talking about? What we're talking about? What are you talking about?
You doing self-made? Make sure you hit the like button, girl, boy.
What would you like for us to talk about? We're talking about, in the moment, we're talking about Black women because we feel that Black women are under attack. We feel that Black women is under attack. And at the end of the day, I feel like we attack each other. So we're using this sector, because there's a lot of Black women in this sector, as an analogy, because that's something we can all relate to, being that we are all in this common space, right? So that's what we're talking about. Are you a Black woman? And if so, you should be able to relate, because, we all know that we could be very, unkind to each other at times. At the end of the day, and when the world is against us, why should we be against each other?
Right.
Be against each other.
We already ain't got protection from everybody else. We can't protect each other.
Right. To the point to where we're calling 911 and we're getting gunned down in our kitchen. So that's what we're talking about.
We can't even call the police for help.
At all. And that's the sad part. We can't even
call the police. Cousin said she started it.
It's always that, right?
Cousin, I seen they pulled you back in, and I hate it. I hate it because I just hate it. Let me just say that. I hate it, cousin. You know what I'm saying? I hate that you had to get pulled back in some type of way, and it's kind of it's messed up. You know what I mean? It's messed up that you had to you did have to come back and defend yourself, and I thought that was over, you know what I mean? But when I heard your live the other day, because I was there, I just watched the replay or whatever, but I didn't know that. I said, dang, we still doing this? Like, we still doing this? And I just feel like, us as Black women, we should be uplifting and supporting each other no matter what we do. I respect every content creator, blogger, whatever title you want to use. I respect everybody on here. You know what I mean? Don't mean I have to get along with everybody or like everybody's stance or what path they go on. But I'm going to respect you at the end of the day. If you respected me, then I'm going to respect you back. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, of course, everybody don't got in the mud with somebody on here. However, once you do all that, then what? What's the end goal? What's the end goal to any of this? What's the end goal to us continuing on bashing
There's
each
not
other.
there's not an end goal. There's not an end goal because I truly believe that we've been conditioned to just go against each other. You know, like what's the end goal for those that would want us to not be healthy people? Like I'm on that. I'm more so on trying to understand why do we hate each other so much, just as women, like in real life and on social media. Like we are our greatest haters. Like that's just period. We got a world that have over the past few years killed our man on camera in our homes, like they're getting choked out. So now we're getting shot in our kitchens. And we're talking about police. But yet we still feel the need. Like I can't wrap my mind around around giving
She froze.
time out of my day. That's like I can't do it. Like I'd rather help build you up. Like I'd rather, give you an ear because I know you got some pain. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but to try to like take you out, like you gotta be miserable. Like there's a lot of pain. There's a lot of unhealed people, is what I'm saying. So, it go back to the beginning of our live when I'm like, you gotta hold yourself accountable for what you choose to do and what you choose to associate yourself with. Because at the end of the day, like, is it worth it? Like, what does it say about you? And I'm talking to Black women, period. How we conduct ourselves. Like, what does it say about you? If you want to tear down another Black woman to the point of you don't know what we always have battles inside. You don't know what that woman is going through. Like, holding accountability is one thing, but the tear down and the constant cattiness, the hurting people, families, and jobs, like that's a different type of issue. And it's sad to see multiple people in the same space have those issues. And the common denominator is these are Black women.
Yeah, and Cousin says sadly, women are the biggest bullies. And that brings me to the point of that's trauma. I have to deal with my trauma in some type of way. You know what I'm saying? And the only way that I know how to deal with my trauma right now, because I don't want to go speak to somebody, is to lash out. It's to be that bully. And I feel like with us, we already go through enough as Black women. Unequal rights and all this, we already go through a lot as women. You know what I'm saying? Mentally, physically, emotionally. We do. Like, we really do. We have to be the toughest and the strongest. Seem like of all time, we have to be the strongest and the toughest. And that's sad that we can't feel safe in our homes, even with the police. We can't feel safe in our home, even with the police. But then to be in the presence of another sister and we can't feel safe, period, either, because now, she's mad because of whatever, you know what I'm saying? Or jealousy and envy that could cause it too. You know what I'm saying? Like jealousy, envy, all that plays a part when we all out here doing the exact same thing. You get what I'm saying? And I'm sorry, I just feel like, yeah, I think maybe the story may have ignited again. I'm not for sure because we really haven't been on it. I just feel like it was already, everybody was doing their own thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's like all of a sudden now it's like we're bickering with each other. I had sent Mina this movie, and if you guys have a chance to watch it, it's a good one. And I always, like, y'all know, I always have these movie things that I always want people to go check out or go look at. But I was telling her about this movie, and it's called Needful Things. It's an older movie by Stephen King, if I'm not mistaken. But it's called Needful Things. and it was basically about um, this man. He was a antique. He was an antique owner. Like he owned this shop, and he came into this little town, almost like an Andy Griffith type of town, where everybody knew everybody. They was all cool and they loved each other and this, that, and the other. But they had things that they wanted, like they had secret needs, like fantasies. And this guy basically provided these fantasies for them, but it came at a cost. And he made the whole town go in an uproar, and they was attacking each other. Some of them even killed, unalived a couple of people. I mean, he came and tore the town apart. And it only took one person to do that in this Andy Griffin type of town. And it was just really berserk how everything went bizarre. So if y'all get a chance, look up Needful Things, watch it. It's a good little movie. It's an older movie, but go watch it. It's really good. But it's almost like it only takes one person to kind of, you know what I'm saying, shake the boat a little bit. But it's still up to us as individuals if we're going to follow that lead, or we are going to have a lead of our own. And I think that's where I'm going with that. You know what I'm saying? Because I've heard it several times, because I know that we've also preached it. You know, the supporters, you know, do this, and the supporters do that. The supporters screenshotted and sent me this, so I know you said it. Or the supporters this, the supporters that. Yeah, the supporters can send you stuff, but at the end of the day, it's your mind. It's your mind whether you're going to speak on it or whether you're not. You get what I'm saying? So we can't always blame the supporters either. You know what I mean? We have to be accountable for our own actions and how we're going to maneuver, you know what I'm saying, going forward with the information that the supporters send you. You have the right to either speak on it, and you have the right either you don't have to. And I think that's where we have to find our growth at. Like, when are we going to grow out of that is where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I'll just stay baseline with everything. You know, people do what they want to do. But I just don't believe in. I don't believe in unnecessary activity. I don't believe in unnecessary activity. I don't believe in tearing down. It's a difference from holding people accountable versus tearing down. I don't believe in that. That's not me. And it hurt, you know, to see fellow sisters do that. It just do, you know, when it's so, but you know, it is what it is, you know. But just know that, you know, right now with what's been displayed with Sonya, I mean, and not just her, we can take it back to, I don't know what year that was, what, 2020, 2019, with all the other police murders, you know. Like, my concern is this cycle about to start kicking back in and revving up? Because if so, folks ain't got no time. Like, seriously, think about it. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, bigger fish to fry. We got election coming up this year too.
Yeah. Yeah, anybody got time to occupy your mind?
You know, I don't want to hate on her or anything like that, but our choices are slim to none, y'all. Like, it really is slim to none. You know, I mean, I don't want to put toupee in there. You know what I'm saying? Definitely not. But it's like, what choices do we have? Like, what's our real choices? You know, and then it's almost like us as Black women, we already be acting like we the bottom of the barrel. You know what I mean? And it's sad that we can't even get protected by our own race. You know what I'm saying? Our own people, our own sisters, our own brothers. You know, that's sad within itself. But to have someone else like that's supposed to serve and protect to come in our house, you know what I'm saying? And basically, to me, looking at the tape, unwillingly, I don't know what had transpired when the other officer went around Yeah, I don't
Mhm. I
know what
looked at
happened when the other officer went around. They must have had some words, is what one of the videos said. They must have had some words because he was already in her house.
Like,
So
what, is she okay? Did she welcome you? And I don't think she welcomed him in. Not when she, had already asked him outside, please don't hurt me. Oh, I love you. Like, she already recognized that demon outside. I don't think she
yeah,
said, yeah, come on in. I didn't hear her
you
say
come
that.
on in, demon. You actually think she gonna invite
I
you
ain't hear her say that. And your body cam was off. So,
Yeah, I
you
think
know,
he was just really fighting
it's,
some demons himself. He was fighting some demons himself. And we don't know what caused him to react. Yeah, Breonna Taylor. Breonna Taylor, Sandra Bland, a lot of our sisters.
and what about the ones that's not being highlighted, y'all? That's my thing. These sisters, like Sonya, she just got highlighted. Like, what about right now? This is like happening right now somewhere. It's a cycle. And I'm telling
Yeah.
you, I just, the timing. Then you got old and feeble dropping out of office. Like, how convenient. Out of the run for office, and girl stepping up to step in. It's just like, yeah, come on. Like, what irritates me is how the people, no particular group of people, just the people, we go for we just like if something is talked about or blogged or put on the news, we believe it. Like we just automatic, like we haven't learned our lessons yet.
No.
Like we done been through a whole world life reset and we made it. Like we've been through COVID, like we had a whole reset. And it's almost like, was that reset to brainwash us totally? Because do y'all not remember what happened when this dude was in office? And then do we not remember, like, do y'all remember people physically scaling the Capitol building like some zombie shit? Like, who want to deal with that? But then you have the lady who's not black, but she's black, and her campaign is black right now, that's put away a lot of incarcerated unjustifiably, a lot of black males, and had a hand in screwing up a lot of homes and black families. Now, okay, all of a sudden, she's the only option. So I don't know. It's just, be okay with what you do as far as if you even vote. Some people, I think a lot of people probably aren't voting, because they just, don't agree with either. But then you have some that's going to vote, and they're going to do what they do. But just be okay with whatever you do when you do vote.
Yeah, I am that somebody. That's what Mina was just talking about, how he was like, he wanted to give the police officers immunity if they, he want to pass that law. And so you think he not gonna pass that law when he get in office? So that's all right to kill, right? Right to
well, I mean, he said something the other day along the lines of, and I guess I'll say allegedly, but along the lines of with the Christian people, you just got to vote this one time. 4 years, you'll never have to vote again. So what I took from that was, what do you call the term where there's no more voting laws or rules? I'm sorry, y'all, I'm drawing a blank. But basically putting him in position to where he is I got to get this word. I can't get it out. It's almost like how the Nazis were, though. Y'all help me out. Drop it in the chat. Like, drop it in the chat. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Where he's he just basically stay in office. He's staying in office. He's not even a president at that point. He's put in office and a dictator, where he's a dictator. That's the goal. That's the ultimate goal.
And we already seen how it was when the
that
other
totally is all against the Constitution.
What was that when they was climbing the building? Where they was climbing the building?
The Capitol. Yeah, I met somebody.
Yeah, but you see what type of people was doing that. However, let our skinhead did that. You don't actually think that we would have been assassinated.
Some people would say that it really didn't happen, that it was staged. So it's just like, but my point to even bring that up was like, do we not remember that? Do we not remember how crazy and uncomfortable?
And the charges, people died behind that, didn't it? Somebody end up getting killed behind on the line.
Yeah,
right.
Remember? Yeah, some lady was. Yeah, right. She got shot. Yeah, on site. It was just a lot. Like personally, I don't want to have to go through all that. Again. But at the end of the day, I don't know. It's not this system was not designed for us at all.
At all.
So,
and I just feel like, I think I seen a comment where I don't know, I think it was Miss Joanne said she invited them in because they wanted to see her ID. But if you look at the other video, they were having words. That's why. And then he asked about the car. They were having words. And then he basically wanted her to show her ID. But my thing is, why would you want her to show her ID if she already told you she didn't know who car that was? I don't know if they was trying to trip her up or catch her in a lie, or it was
somebody in the chat earlier. But somebody said in the chat earlier that maybe they thought she might have done something to the car the day before. I want to go back and see who said that. I don't know if they're still here, but something along that lines, like maybe they was thinking she did something to the car the day before. That's why it was called out there. Something along that lines, but it doesn't justify what happened to her
at all. And she was defenseless. It wasn't that she charged neither one of them, and the other officer, from my understanding, they are basically going to try to put some charges on him too, because they felt like he didn't do what he said he was, like he didn't do what he was supposed to do too. He kind of he basically went along with his partner instead of doing what was right. So basically they were saying that he may intentionally get charged as well. So we may have to be looking for that. I'm probably going to still be following up on this story.
I wonder how that's going to work out. I can't say that. I don't know if I think that the other officer did anything, I don't want to say wrong. I want to be careful saying that. But he didn't shoot her. I paid attention to his emotion when his partner did shoot her. Now, after the shot, then okay. I think after the shot, how he probably didn't go back and get the kit to help aid her. Yeah, from that point on, yeah. But I don't know about holding him accountable for the other guy pulling the trigger. I didn't hear him coerce that or anything along that. So, I mean, if I was in the space of a juror, I would.
And then I think the partner had already, the shooter had already was asking, you all right? You okay? Basically, no, I'm not okay. I just seen you unalive somebody in cold blood. Like, it wasn't justified. It wasn't justified. And for you to tell someone that this lady charged you and was trying to throw the water on you, and the other officer, and I think they're looking at that too, the other officer didn't correct it. He didn't correct it. He didn't correct it. He didn't say, no, that's not what happened. You know what I'm saying? He didn't
especially
say that.
If they put something on paper, or documented something afterwards, or try to clean it up, which is, sound like what they tried to do. But, I pray they get whatever they deserve in this life and the next and wherever else afterwards. So at the end of the day, it's no justification.
That's a good one, cousin. You said, were they ever concerned about the possible intruder? The reason they was called out there in the first place? You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They weren't worried about that. They weren't worried about that. And then she said, and how can a pot of water hurt you from across the room? I said the same thing, because how far was it going to go? You had a whole island at about 4 to 6 feet apart. You know what I'm saying? Like, what was she gonna sling it like it was a boomerang or something? Like, and then they said the pot was heavy. So that's my thing. And then it's like she's dropping the pot as she's basically surrendering on going to the ground. You
She
know,
dropped
so
the pot over.
where
They had to
did
touch her.
you feel threatened? Where did you feel threatened? At what point did you feel threatened? Did you feel threatened when she threw her hands up and a pot of water fell? Because at this
Right.
point, she's probably burnt. You know what I'm saying? Because it was hot water. You know, so it's like I just feel
So let
like
me
it
read
was,
these comments real quick. Lady Love said, Mina, it doesn't matter if he did or not. Birds of a feather flock together. He can't throw his partner under the bus without implicating himself. I mean, I'm sure, I believe that's partially true. I mean, first of all, it's on camera. And then I just, so I know there's protocols that in training, like these people are programmed, like they're programmed. So now if your partner, I haven't been trained, but my thoughts are if your partner's trained to draw, you got to draw because you don't know, he might have seen something, but so I think it's an automatic. Does it justify it? No, but I think that's part of their training. And so, yeah, he did draw down because I'm looking at Tiff's comment. Second officer drew his gun on unarmed lady, knowing they weren't in harm's way. It's just all around effed up. That's 100% true. But I also think from a mindset of these people are trained. You know what I'm saying? And yes, his partner did something 100% out of order and totally out of, I'm sure, protocol. But I think the maybe like a natural response because of the type of training they have, he probably drew down too, the second officer. It's no reason. I'm thankful he didn't shoot, but at the same time, the other one did. It's just still no justification.
Is that true? You see
What's
Sexy
that?
Race comment?
No, they wasn't. He wanted to do her like that because a year before the officer, that couldn't be true. It's just all around messed up. It's just all around messed up. And she's not here. It's zero understanding to the officer that killed her. And I'm just thinking like step by step how it went down. The second officer, I think, reacted, and he probably wasn't shot. How do we know that he even expected that? Like, did he expect that? And I'm talking about the second officer.
Right.
So he felt threatened when she said, "Don't hurt me, love you." Them demons don't like to be confused, right? Or question their intentions. Yeah, they don't like being exposed. No, the devil don't like being exposed at all before they are rebuked. And when she said that, he said, "Don't say that." And that's when he drew his weapon.
Yeah, before he drew his weapon, he told her, "Don't say that." And she was like, "Why are you saying that?" And she said it again, and he said, "Don't say that." And that's when he went postal, and it's like
the officer keep going out, and then she was driving, wants to pull over. She called in on him, so sad. It's just, I mean, we're talking about it, but it ain't no type of nothing, no type of right to it at all. Like, it's just not. And it's crazy, because we talk about it, or we're questioning it, and we're trying to put some level of rationale to it, and we know it's not any. Like, literally, it's not any rationale to it. It's like, it's not. It's sick. It's demonic. It's evil. And if you're a spiritual person, it was clearly the devil. Like, it just was. It just was.
Yeah. I just
and
feel like
she tested him. She told him, she said, "Will you get my Bible?" He knew what time it was. That's why he acted like that. Right.
Yeah. She said, "I rebuke you." And then he unalived her. He did. He did just that. And I think her mom was saying, like, maybe a few days before that, she was fearing, like, not being here. She was talking like that. She was saying that, like, she just felt like, her time was coming. I'm pretty sure she didn't know how it was coming, but usually people can see stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially when a person switch up how they think um, they can probably see things that we couldn't, and or we can't. And I think at this point, I think that she was at a point to where she already felt it. She felt like this ain't gonna go as planned. You know what I'm saying? But she did all the protocol to let this officer know that she wasn't a threat. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't a threat to him. She wasn't a threat to the other officer. So my reasoning for even pulling out your weapon was confusing to me. Like, why would you even pull out your weapon? You guys is the one that told her to turn off the water. When one of y'all could have walked over there yourself and did it, right? She could have stayed in her seat and kept looking for her ID because that's what y'all asked her to do. Then y'all asking her to do too many things at once. Find your ID, go cut the water off, do this. It's just a whole bunch to that. You get what I'm saying? Because
it is. The thing that's missing, though, the thing that I could say I feel is missing is that the other officer on site not instantly calling the other officer out. Like, I haven't ever seen any videos with all these different unalivings where one officer in the mode of in the thick of it stopping the other officer or attempting or holding him accountable because he wasn't doing the right thing. So like I was saying a minute ago, I think the second officer reacted to the first officer, but his reaction really should have been towards the officer one, but I don't think that's in their training. You know what I'm saying? So they're like almost like just bad robots.
Yeah.
So what is the public open to knowing what type of training these people is having? Because they turn them. I mean, in training, they're programmed. They're programmed or possessed or however you want to identify.
And he was just, I think he was just a little trigger happy there. You know what I'm saying? Like just a tad bit. He was not even a tad bit. He was trigger happy. He was trigger happy because there was no.
He said,
he's
he said it's a headshot. The way he said it's a headshot was how I hear my.
But it was the way like, don't even worry about going to get your kid, dude. I got her. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and then try to ask him about his camera. So it's just like
an animal. Like I got her. Like I took it down. You know what I'm saying? Like they out in the wild hunting deer or something. You get what I'm saying? And it was
like she was game. Like she was gang.
The first video, it just really took me out. Like I had to, I cried and I called me and I was like, what we gonna say about this story? Because it is bothering me, especially when I learned that she was going through some mental issues. And I guess and let me tell you about mental issues, y'all. It's a trigger and it is an imbalance of the brain. So you can go through life being exactly who you are. Everything is wonderful, and then just all of a sudden one day something snaps in here. Something triggered your brain to be unbalanced, and now you're suffering from mental issues, right? That happens because, like I said, my son he was an athlete. Actually, had a couple of scholarships to go off to college. At 16, other schools was busing him to another school because he was just that good with football. Sometimes I feel like maybe football, and the injuries, or because he didn't really have injuries, but he played both offense and defense. But I don't know the hits, and because he was a big guy, you know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking that could have had something to do with it too. However, we can't really say that, you know what I mean? And you don't wake up, or you're not knowing like when you're born you're gonna have mental illness. This is something just an imbalance of your brain. So she was living fine from what her son says. And all of a sudden she just started dealing with some mental issues, and they had to go stay with their father while she handled what she needed to handle. The son was the one who made sure that she got into that facility in St. Louis. He said they let her go. He don't know why they let her go, but they let her go. And he was like, that was kind of crazy to me that they let her go. However, she was home, but she was still suffering with those issues. And that's and with our system too. We don't have enough doctors that really, they'll diagnose you and give you some medicine and send you off. But to me, they don't take it serious either. They don't take it as serious as we would as a loved one, a family member, a parent. They don't take it as serious as we would, because having mental issues is real. It's something real. And we play with that a lot in our community. And I'm talking about our brown community. We play with that a lot. Instead of getting the necessary help that we need, we try to fix it ourselves. Sometimes we self-medicate, and that's what instead of taking the necessary medicine, we want to do the weed or pop a pill, and sometimes get on the harder drugs. And that's only to cope with what we're dealing with, or cope with. They do that to cope with what they're dealing with in their mind. So mental illness is something that we really need to get educated on, especially as a law officer. That should be part of the program too. That, when dealing with people, different people with mental issues, this, that, and the other, this should be the protocol. Call a doctor, get them to the hospital, whatever. That should be a protocol within itself. That's how I feel.
So that's the responsibility of the people, and that goes back to what we were saying earlier. It starts at your home, but it starts in your community. As a voter, and when you are a voter, if we're going by the system, that's why it's important to be active in your community, to know who is running for certain local offices. So, and I'll say this, I went through a long phase of where I didn't care to indulge in the politics, and then I come to the conclusion where I'm like, I'd rather do my work locally, because you get see the results of what you do if you do community work, right? And so then there's people who do community work that go into your office's community and make decisions just locally, down to how, if you got potholes in your street. But those are the people that are part of the numbers that support and hold weight to stuff like these darn elections when it comes down to this clown show at the end of the day. So there is a structure there, you know what I'm saying? But I think as a people, we're so contaminated, we're so non-supportive of ourselves anyway. If we had a little bit of wiggle room to affect or penetrate that system, we don't even come together for that. It sounds cliche because the system wasn't made for us, but it's like we still have never really, I don't think, ever came together for that either. You know what I'm saying? To try to really make a difference. And I'm not talking about on the election level, presidential level. I'm saying locally. Like, what are you doing in your community? What are you doing? So it's even hard to accept somebody being mad at the government level when you're not doing anything in your house. You ain't taking care of your people. You ain't taking care of your neighbor. And that's what God told you to do. You know what I'm saying? It is a domino effect to that, ultimately. It's a domino effect.
Yeah.
That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I just feel like we wanted to speak on that today. We really, I know that I really did. Mina was like, she said, girl, this is really like hard because
it angers me. That's why.
It really, it really touched me in a different type of way, only because of how it was done and the mental illness part, because that's a heartstring for me. The mental illness part is a heartstring for me. You know what I'm saying?
You're not alone. I think if not all of Black families have mental illness. it's just the majority of us not do take care of those illnesses. We don't take care of our people. We ignore with our children. We just don't support each other. We don't go to the doctors our damn self. So it's just like, hold yourself accountable. Those nearest to you and those you love nearest to you, hold them accountable. And we just got to do better. Yeah. Otherwise, this is what we're going to continue to get. At the end of the day, we're going to continue to have these things put up on us and not really have a leg to stand on other than marching, complaining. I mean, we can go live about it to try to encourage one another. But the reality of it is we need to take care of our homes. Like, we need to take care of our mind. We need to eat right. It's things we got to take care of our vessels. Like, if you don't take care of yourself, how do we expect for anybody? If we don't respect ourselves, how can we expect anybody else to respect us?
Right. The body's supposed to be the temple, ain't it? The body is supposed to be the temple. So, I mean,
yeah, it's the baseline to that. It's not to say that, that means that it's okay that they, are knocking us off or unalive us. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is, in order to even combat that, you have to situate yourself. You have to ground yourself. You have to know who you are. You got to know your strengths. You have to support. You have to support those around you. Like, it's an energy as well. So it's like you got to take care of yourself to where you can be your better self, to where those things can't just come in and attack us or individually. But we, as a people, I don't think we've ever really lived in our power in my lifetime. And I'm 47. I haven't seen us as a people, and we're powerful people. I know my powers alone. So, to pull together on that, that's the threat, So we just don't, I say this again to say, we just don't have time to fight each other. We don't have time to keep doing the shenanigans, because this is what's happening to us in reality. Like, we're getting taken out in our kitchens. And we can't take that lightly. We're literally being taken out. The women, not the men, the women. We're being taken out in our kitchens because we pour the water.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, when are we going to have some real justice at the end of the day? Like, when is our justice? When, as us, as Black people or Black women, when do we have justice? Why are we always the bottom of the totem pole? Why are we always the last to be thought about? And we do the most. That's how I feel. Like, we're like the strongest women around. Like, we're some strong beings. We've taken a lot. Black women have taken a lot. And I'm speaking for us as collectively, because we do got some, let's just call a spade a spade. We got some effed up Black women out here. They effed up. You know what I'm saying? However, I'm talking about the ones who take care of their family, who have meaning, who have purpose, who do what they need to do by what they're supposed to be doing. And then we have this happen. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, is no winning or lose. It's like, no, we get no win-win. There's no win-win here. You know what I'm saying? It's like, when do we get a win? It's what I'm trying to see. When are we winning? Everybody else have won. When do we get to win? And that's that's where I stand.
I just feel like, I just feel like we win when we're together. And I don't sound, but I just do. I just think that because, and I'm not trying to sound, ain't gonna sound right. I ain't sounding narcissistic. I ain't trying to sound conceited, but I understand my power. I understand my greatness. It took time for me to understand my greatness and healing. It took a lot of healing because I have a lot of trauma. I come from, being introduced to trauma in my life, and I understand healing, but I understand my greatness. So we win when we understand that. When you understand your greatness, you don't even, that's all you attract. That's all you want to attract. That's all you're going to accept. So then you got other great women around you. is what I'm trying to say. And that's powerful. That is so powerful, man. And it does dishearten me that enough of us don't get it. Enough of us don't get it. We don't.
Y'all don't know what we could do.
That's why we can't elevate. That's why and even if you is sitting in a good position, even if you are on a throne and you got people praising you for your accolades and things like that, it's like you up there by yourself. And then when you up there by yourself, you gotta fight everybody by yourself. You ain't even got sisters around you because they've been so busy trying to pull you down. So it's just like, damn, what if we was all up in here and we all running this shit? That's power.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, y'all.
And that's what the world is scared of, honestly.
Yeah, I just want us to get better as a people. And we had to speak on this young lady because it's just sad that this had to happen to her and her family. I can't really speak on what the family is going through, but I know that is really from the reports from her uncle, from her cousin, from her son, from her mother, from her father. It's like different people have spoke about her, and I only heard nothing but good things. The uncle said he never seen her angry, like mad or angry. And it's like, okay, when are we going to wake up as a community? When are we going to wake up as people? When are we going to wake up as women, as beautiful Black women at that? Because everybody is beautiful to me in their own way. And it's like, we still can't see that, and we can't see the forest from the trees because we so busy tearing each other down. And I don't like it. I don't like it. It doesn't look good for us. And it's like, do y'all know what we could be if we just stuck together as a unit? You know what I mean? And it's like, they really would be trying to tear us down or take us out, because it's like we stick together as a community of Black people is how I look at it. But I just feel like we just had to touch on this because it's disheartening that her family has to go through this, and it was somebody that was supposed to serve and protect her, you know what I'm saying, at all costs. And instead of serving and protecting her, he unalived her for no reason, in her own home. You know what I'm saying? In her own home. And I mean, that's all I have to say on that. Mina, you got something else you want to say?
Now let me scroll through the comments to see if we missed anything. Me Hype said, know that when you call on backup before the enemy does, they become in fear of their lives. Right. I think she's referencing her rebuking the officer, and he lost it. And she also said he felt threatened when she said, "Don't hurt me. I love you." Some demons don't like to be confused or questioning their intent. They don't like being exposed before they are rebuked. That's very true. Absolutely. The devil definitely don't like exposure. So, I mean, you know, we just wanted to touch on it, talk about it really quick, guys. I just hope that, you know, we keep our eyes wide open, you know, be mindful, take care of yourself, check on your family members. You know what I'm saying? I think as Black people, a lot of us are so not unified with our immediate family, you know, and if you got any issues within your household or with your sibling or your cousin, like, make that right, you know, make it right.
Yeah.
Make it
right. Also, if y'all have people in y'all family that suffer from mental illness, don't think of them as the crazy person. I had to learn that the hard way. You can't look at them as the crazy person, because the way they think to themselves is their normal. It's their normal. So we have to respect it as such. You know what I mean? However, but they can't put you in harm's way either. But you have to respect them as what they believe is their normal. You know what I'm saying? So try to understand people that you come in contact with that have mental illness. You know what I mean? And if it's someone that's getting irate, make sure that you help them get to a facility or in a facility, because it's just going to help them be more conditioned, and it helps them, free whatever's going on in their mind. It helps them kind of soothe that out a little bit. It kind of helps them soothe that out. Now they bucking on the system like my son, because he just a bucker. You know what I'm saying? And as a matter of fact, I just talked to him today, and it's like, he'll call me 5,000 times with the same thing, but that's just the way his mind is. Like, I can explain something to him the day before, and he'll call me the next day with the same question. So it's like, I've learned, you know what I'm saying, with, me looking it up and having to get educated on it. I know how to handle it better now. You know what I'm saying? I've been going through it with him for 10 years. So I know how to handle it better. However, if you come in contact with someone with a mental illness in your family, just know that that's their norm. You know what I mean? That's their norm, y'all. And
try to meet them where they are.
Yes.
The thing about it is you don't know what they're going through, and it may be painful to you. It may be confusing to you. It may be even scary for you, but you gotta be mindful that you don't have their lenses. Like, you don't have their view on the atmosphere. Like, their view is totally different. It's not what you see. It's not, I want to say this, if you're in a situation with a family member or a loved one that does suffer from mental illness, and they, you're afraid of them, you have to make the proper arrangements to not be in an unsafe space with them, right? But having them in your home, in the event that you're able to help aid them, you have to understand that you have to meet them where they are. You're not going to have their lenses. You have to be patient. You got to sometimes just let them, believe what they choose to believe, because you can't change their mind. But, you have to constantly try to put that situation in a space where it can be controlled. Encourage them to do seek therapy, and to be seen by a doctor, and to get on their medications and things that help them chemically feel better. Because those things matter. It do matter. But, try not to get frustrated or angry and worsen or heighten the situation, especially with those that have mood issues or schizophrenia, things of that nature, where they're already dealing with other things here. They are hearing and seeing other things. So now they got to physically hear and see you. Who the hell you think they're going to get? You know what I'm saying? If they can tangibly get you. So the thing about it is, meet them where they are, have the understanding that they're not in the arena you're in. They're not in the same mindset that you're in. You have to be responsible for that part. Being and living, say, around one that's dealing with mental illness, because they don't have the same perspective that you have. So just remember that, be mindful, be patient, and be diligent. Because the system is not set up for us. Just because we call 911 don't mean you're going to get the results that you may need. So you really have to be a strong advocate to make sure that your loved one is getting the help they need. Like, you got to stay on it. You can't be comfortable. You can't get to it next week. You got to make those phone calls, check those insurance cards, make sure they got insurance, show up at the appointments until they get stabilized, and then make sure they're taking their medicines, things like that, because those are the things that matter in living with a mental illness family member, a mental ill family member.
That was my life for a long time, y'all. Like, I would get them acclimated in the system and get them in programs that the mental health, hospital that I used to send him to, they had, like, he could go up there and learn different stuff, and he would just do other things. And it was just like, he just always was like, at first, when it first happened, he was doing his medicine good, and then it heightened. And the doctor told me, you know, the older he get, the worse it was gonna get. So I had to prepare myself for that. So that's why I started reading up on it a little more to get more understanding. And sometimes it doesn't help to get a little educated on mental illness either. You know what I'm saying? That way you'll know like symptoms and signs. If you see them in a family member, you know symptoms and signs, you know, and sometimes we don't have enough patience with them, you know what I mean? And because they don't act like us. Let's just say that, you know, and we feel like our normal is normal, but they feel like their normal is normal, you know. So just be aware, you know what I'm saying? If you do have family members and you do come in contact with them, just be aware, you know, that that's their normal and your normal is your normal. Because I feel like this is how my son feel like. He used to tell us, ain't nothing wrong with him. It's something wrong with us. That's what he used to tell me and my mother all the time. Ain't nothing wrong with me. Something wrong with y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Sure
ain't
you
nothing wrong
believe
with
that.
me. Something wrong with y'all. You know, and then we used to be
That's his
like,
reality. That's his
yeah,
that's reality. Right.
yeah,
Ain't your reality, but that's his reality. So
yeah,
imagine, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
But
So
just kind of bringing it back in and bringing it to law enforcement, they should have that training. They should have that should be part of their training. You know, being able to recognize. You know, so again, I encourage people to do your due diligence where you live, you know, meaning again, your home and your community, because
yeah,
those are the little things like you vote in your sheriff, you know, you vote these people in like that part locally. I, for my own self, have seen that take place where I live. You know, I've seen the works of that. So you do have a hand in voting into the people that, you know, have any dealings with your local situation, which is those police departments. You know, at this point, hey, all I can do is say, stay prayed up. Stay prayed up. You
that's
know,
it. Yeah. And we gonna definitely keep praying for this family, the Massey family,
mhm.
um, that they get the results that they deserve as far as their family member being unalived by this officer. I pray that, you know, her children find healing, because the cousin was saying that the daughter can't even go to the bathroom now by herself. Like she has to get on the phone with her and walk her to the bathroom. Like she's still that petrified because of this situation. So we just gonna keep their family uplifted in prayer and
Right.
make sure that um, Crump do exactly what he's good for and get justice for this family. I also want y'all on the way out, make sure y'all hit that like button. If y'all want to donate to the channel, y'all can donate to this channel. We have our banner going across there with our Cash App tag. If y'all want to send Superfans Cash App, y'all are welcome to. You know, we don't be stressing it, but if y'all want to, go ahead and support the channel. And a good way to support the channel is to hit that like button, subscribe if you have not subscribed, and share this live. And we love y'all and thank y'all for y'all support. Y'all just don't know how much we appreciate y'all support and y'all love for us. We appreciate y'all so much.
We really do. Thanks for coming back in. We're going to go ahead and get back on our schedule weekly and hit your notifications so y'all know when we're going live. Love
Amen.
y'all. Peace out.
Peace. We love y'all.